It is July 27, 2020, and it is morning at the museum. And so the images that I captured, those are just a sample of what third parties engage in as far as surrounding the targeted individual where the fake sun is present, and they are merely engaging in intentional relevant positioning with communication devices, and this is in all form. So you have third parties that are sitting at the inoperable. It's not open to patrons, but they sit in relevant position at the train tracks. You have them; those represent communication devices. You have the 150 East, that's a building across from the museum, filling up the parking spaces on Transit, the street on Transit. Those each represent communication devices in relevant position. There is no form escaping the state system. That is all elements being present, and that is also engagement in that state system. You have Ontario city vehicles often engaged in P.O.C, specifically when I am out in public. That's a form for them to engage in P.O.C, and that is what you have on both sides of the building. Across the street, using that empty parking lot at 204 South Euclid, third parties parked in relevant position, in alignment to me at the museum, in alignment as I walk to Emporia, third parties sitting in their vehicles on the back end street of Emporia, third parties sitting in their vehicles in the parking lot of the Amtrak train station for Ontario, which is at Emporia and Lemon. Again, this is not open to patrons riding the train. They are just positioned with communication devices, and the fake sun is literally following me as I walk around the building and take images. So this is P.O.C, and they are engaged in what is surrounding. As I have stated, the people of California, this is their role: the ongoing creation of activity, the ongoing physical presence with communication devices. And this is while the helicopter is flying over me at the museum. This is while planes are flying over, and planes are flying over right now as I speak at 9:43 a.m. This is while the fake sun is over. And so every license plate merely is a sample of what all third parties are doing. I am capturing the ways in which they engage in intentional conduct with the state. That is surrounding the targeted individual. This is third-party stalking, this is third-party surveillance, and this is third-party engagement in activity which is intended to monitor. It is July 27, 2020. Even as they start their cars, this is intentional engagement in activity under the fake sun in relevant position, and it is conduct designed to monitor every single thing that third parties do under the fake sun, if you will, under the state's ILA, is designed to monitor. And this is capturing as I get up at the museum, where the state engages in following me ceaselessly. They are engaged in surveillance. They engage in audible flight when they are creating audible activity for purposes of monitoring. But that is distinct from their engagement in 24-hour surveillance. And that is the same with third parties, who again pop up out of nowhere, engaging in the P.O.C with that state. And that is what I have laid out. That is what I've expounded upon as far as the people of the state of California representing that one unified group of third parties whose actions are unified. They are not separate. They work together to surround the targeted individual, and that's P.O.C. And that is as I am getting up at the museum. It is July 27, 2020, and that is just one other example of the ways in which the targeted individual is subject to ongoing stalking by the state and third parties alike. And again, third parties are the people of the state of California. Their actions are attributed to the state. The action of stalking and the criminal conduct, the prosecution would be of the state. All of their actions are attributed to the state. I am showing how the people of California are engaged in intentional action to that criminal end. That is P.O.C. It is 9:24 p.m. and I just left the security cameras at the Ontario Town Square at 9:05 at that time, which I did point out to the security cameras that is a third-party venue. At that same time, a white, heavy-set male with facial hair, he has auburn red hair, wearing a hat, was also engaging in crossing a path. It is P.O.C, but the relevance of this is because he is also on camera walking past me at the same time when I am preparing to leave, and I am pointing out to that camera at around 9:05 p.m. the fact that the airplanes, it was a blinking plane flying over me, headed in the west direction over the Ontario Town Square, over Euclid, which I pointed out to the security camera, as well as the helicopter that was circling over as I sat at the Ontario Town Square. This is 9:05 p.m. And so I left at around 9:06, 9:07 p.m. The sirens and the helicopter engaging in circling as I approach Lemon and Transit. So that would be off of Holt. So I would turn to walk south on Lemon, approaching the museum. At that point is where the siren sound. This is when the helicopter begins. Now, okay, when I say sounding, that is them making the state. Them is the state sounding sirens, sounding the helicopter is the creation of audible activity. This serves the purpose of criminal monitoring of an American citizen. The state is engaged in surveillance, always present. This is how they engage in that knee-jerk creation of activity. At my most abrupt movement, some change in activity, they immediately engage in creating this activity. Okay, this is showing that they are always present. This has been the pattern. This has been the state since December 19, 2018, since I've been documenting it. And so the fact that they engage in audible flight that is distinct from their remaining present at all times. And so this is what occurs as I turn onto Lemon. And then as I do go in front of the traffic cameras, which are positioned on Euclid and Holt, standing at Euclid. Third parties are sitting in their cars, engaging in that stalking conduct. It is also monitoring as they sit in their vehicles with the headlights facing me. And that is while they are in relevant position as a helicopter is flying in circles above. That is to my right while I am standing in the direction of the traffic cameras, pointing out how it is P.O.C, specifically every single third party in traffic, every third party pedestrian, this entire zone of relevant position. I am pointing out the fact that the helicopters are to my right. That would have been over Lemon, the same area where the third parties are sitting in their cars, and this is that stalking conduct that they do everywhere that I go. This is at nighttime, and so this is this ominous conduct of sitting in their cars, engaging in stalking, engaging in monitoring conduct with their communication devices as the state is making audible activity, as what you just heard. That is the fireworks that has been heavily documented. The single pop reminiscent of a gunshot, that is audible activity. That is the sound of amplified third-party vehicles. That is another form of audible activity. Now, what I want to state is that the helicopter engaged in repeatedly circling over this museum as I arrive, as I get here and unload my property and all that. This is creation of audible activity. This is the stalking. This is monitoring while I am at the museum and third parties surround. And this is the state also. The state is the one that's sounding off these amplified fireworks. The state is the one that's flying the helicopters. The state are the ones that are setting off the sirens. The state are the ones that are amplifying third party noises as they use their vehicles to engage in monitoring. And that is the state. At the moment I turn on my cell phone, again, not only is the state, and this is what is relevant to everything that I document, and the state's conduct, and that's why there is no argument on the part of this. I don't think they plan on having an argument. I think their plan was just to it never be exposed, but that boat has sailed. My point in showing my documentation, the state is not only monitoring me, they are also monitoring necessarily that which I document about their criminal conduct. And so while the state is engaged in circling above this museum, at around 9:15, 9:20 p.m. repeatedly, as I am sitting here writing out documentation in real time of what the state is engaged in. At the same time, I turn on my phone. Once it is on, that circling directly above me is what stops. All right, the state is still engaged in creating audible activity, not in the same manner that it was about 5 minutes ago, literally flying over this museum. There's a third party that's on the opposite side, the north side. I'm on the south side. And so you have all elements that are present, but I want to note that is what is relevant as far as not only is the state monitoring me, and stalking and surveillance is inherent to monitoring an American citizen 24 hours a day. They are also engaged in, obviously, monitoring and listening to my documentation of their criminal conduct. And so with simultaneity to my communication device being turned on, the helicopter stops this obvious flight directly over where I may capture them on video again, but there is a long history. So I have more than one form of documentation. This is what is occurring as I arrive at the museum. This is what third parties are doing in concert with the state. And again, this is that same conformity of the conduct and the fact that it fits one and another hand in glove. This is the removal, again, of all coincidence. That which third parties engage in is that which accomplishes monitoring. That which third parties engage in is that which is within the identical behavioral patterns everywhere that I go amongst faceless people. Those are third parties. They represent the same group. They are acting as one. And this is that which occurs, which also happens to satisfy all three elements for monitoring. And this is consistently the case as they act in concert with the state, right? So this is how I am showing how it is a system, and that is established. I am just connecting all the dots, showing how you get to the reasonable conclusion that California is engaged in a system embedded in society whereby every person is able to engage in P.O.C. when they are in relevant position. The person that's in Orange County right now is not in relevant position to me. I'm not talking about those third parties, but when I am in Orange County, the system is in operation. It is designed such that any person at any time may engage in that state system that is a ceaseless system engaged in monitoring, stalking, and harassing targeted individuals. And that is what I am showing. And I am showing the ways in which it is embedded in every facet of society. Every person at all times in relevant position are engaged in that system, and you see the ways in which they are able to do so, and seamlessly so. And this is that which is ratcheted up in aggression and hostility because of my awareness, because of my confronting it, because of my documentation of it. And this is a secret in California, not ever to be exposed. The target individual is supposed to be defamed, it's supposed to be dismissed, and it's supposed to be rendered illegitimate, and this is not the case. And so this is why you have the stalking of helicopters. And Los Angeles is the most spectacular exhibit of hostility to documentation. Ontario, they're more so obsessive and relentless, which the system is in and of itself. But Los Angeles gave a pristine picture of the vicious cruelty and obsessive criminality of the system, and that attitude toward the targeted individual, having the audacity to expose it for the criminal that it is. Again, we are talking about the entity, the state of California. By the way, that is the helicopter again, flying directly over the museum. Third parties patrolling on Euclid and Holt. And that is not including the relevant positioning on the opposite side of this museum. Third parties engaging in stalking, the state engaging in stalking at 204 South Euclid, police officers documented engaging in that dark closed down lot. The state documented engaged in stalking in the carport garage on the opposite side of this museum. The police engaged in hiding out in dark streets. I've documented this is at the beginning. The state is always present, and also by aircraft. That is the helicopter flying directly over the museum. It is currently 9:33 p.m. And that is P.O.C. as I arrive at the museum, and this is speaking to malice. This is speaking to an intention to continue to engage in criminal conduct. This is speaking to an intent to oppress. This is that which the state is listening to as the target individual documents their criminal conduct. Okay, so this is my getting past already establishing the case against the state of California. I intend to also show the malice with which third parties act in concert with the state, the malice with which the state engages in that conduct. It is not enough that they are engaged in it, but then for them to engage in it while they are listening to the targeted individual document, catalog, chronologize, post on the internet and publish to the masses their criminal conduct. This is that which is unprecedented in criminality, unprecedented in the level at which has not been adequately, or I would say ever, addressed by legislation, where a state is engaged in a system of this sort, which is impossible to not be within the knowledge of the mayors, of the governor. This is that which is a secret, and it is too broad and too bold in its stance and its in the way that it is carried out, such that these officials of the state are unaware. They are aware, and that is why I am faced with helicopters and airplanes in every city that I go. None of this, though, is in any way stopping documentation and exposure. It is showing the relentless efforts that they go to I guess, try to This is the intent is to intimidate, but when you are not able to intimidate, you are merely creating more evidence against yourself, and this is where we are. This is the cycle that you're in. Third-party insiders such as Tracy Banks and all of the defamatory statements that she makes, this is merely evidence of a third-party insider speaking to the malice of the system. And so as I sit at the museum at Euclid and Holt, the helicopters I have been documenting from city to city, by the way, today, this is the removal of coincidence. There is absolutely facts bearing the existence of this system and the relentless criminality of this system, the malice with which the third parties who happen to be engaging in conduct that is designed to monitor and also in sync with the state that is operating this system. This is the totality of facts speaking to what is occurring in California and Lord knows where else, but I am speaking to that which I have engaged in, experienced, observed, and documented firsthand after engaging in literally studying what is demonic conduct, but it is also that which is proscribable by the law. It is that which is discernible by the law. It is that which is able to be addressed in a court of law. And so for added context, it should be understood that this is straight out of hell. This is that which is a twisted and demented people engaging in this, which is a secret in the state of California. The acts that they engage in are designed to monitor, and they do so by stalking. They do so by engaging in 24-hour surveillance. They do so by engaging in sexual offenses against the target individual, listening to them engage in sexual encounters with third parties. Okay, the third party has no true friends. The target individual has no true friends. The target individual has no true, genuine family relatives who are not engaged in this system. The target individual has no romantic partner that is not a third party. Okay, so where you are targeted by the state, you are a target of the state, period. And you are seeing the ways in which those third parties take on those roles, third party insiders and third party outsiders. And upon awareness, upon enlightenment of the system, the ways in which that aggression heightens, that hostility heightens. And this is all which is legally relevant, further revealing the system at work. And that is all that it is probative of. It is in no way a reflection on the targeted individual at all. This is a false premise that this entire system was built on, and I am systematically deconstructing every aspect of that false premise. Where the state is stalker, the targeted individual resorts to exposing that stalker, which is the state of California, and of its employ are the very people of the state of California engaged in what is an extremely twisted and demented of the demonic system of targeting. And that is that which is intended to intimidate, but when unable to do so, you merely just continue to provide evidence against that stalker, which is the state of California. That is, again, more evidence, 9:38 p.m., the same helicopter, blue and white, because I'm in Ontario, and it is blinking white, red, and green lights as it is flying. That would be south on the opposite side of this museum building. So it is flying directly over Lemon as it is in relevant position to me, creating audible activity, impossible light activity coming from what is supposed to be headlights from cars onto the south end of this building. This is impossible. This is directed light. This is magnified light onto this building. This is P.O.C for monitoring. And the state is engaging in this by stalking. And they do this also by using, as you heard, the amplified sound of fireworks, the amplified sound of the train, highly exercised to monitor, the sound of the amplified helicopter, all of which is merely to be published to show what they're engaged in. And they clearly want to, just like Los Angeles did, this is what is so ironic about the state of California. They merely provide that which is to be exposed against them. But you hear it, that is a helicopter. I am not making it up. And we've had several instances with helicopters published on the internet. That is just today, July 27, 2020, and it's 9:39 p.m. And again, this state, the stalker, engaged in monitoring what I document about it, and then engaging in creating more evidence against itself. Evidence which is insurmountable, evidence which in no way suggests anything about the targeted individual other than the fact that they are ingenious enough to publish it for the masses. That's it. diligent enough to systematically document it. That's it. Other than that, we are speaking to that which is profound in the levels of desperate acts of criminal conduct by an entity. That's who this case is against. It is against the entity. Every faceless third party, because that's what they are acting as a group in concert with that entity. That is the stalker. All elements remaining present and all hallmarks being present. And that is the state stalking by sirens, stalking by aircrafts and helicopters, stalking by light, stalking by noise. And at the museum, they are engaging in the repetitious use of the train. This is the train that is directly behind at Euclid and Holt, amplifying that train all night. They are engaged in, here we go. Not only is this monitoring, it is a real-time reaction to what they're listening to me document about their criminal conduct. It is pathetic. That is the fire truck going west on Holt. And again, you pay attention to the details. Everything that they do is exposing their criminal conduct. Those sirens started right here next to me. The state is a stalker. They started right here next to me. They stopped right when they passed the corner at Holt. This is a stalker. This is an entity. This is an unprecedented case against a public entity, that is the state of California, criminally misusing emergency vehicles to monitor an American citizen while they sit around in dark corners listening to the true statements about itself, stalking in helicopters, stalking in police vehicles, stalking in ambulances and in fire trucks. And as you hear, that is what the facts bear. The sirens lasted for 2 seconds. As soon as they pass the corner with lights and sirens, that's designed to monitor, okay? That's what that is. That is that which they engage in on a daily basis. There is not enough that can be said. They provide the material for me, and they meaning the state, and they literally have nothing else to do but that which they continue to do. And that which they continue to do is the evidence against itself. The case is already proven, and that which I publish on the internet is just further confirmation of that which they continue to do on a daily basis. And what I want to stress is the fact that this stalker is the state of California. They are a group of weirdo, psychotic, obsessive, criminal stalkers. And this is, it is unprecedented because you typically think of a stalker as an individual. And what I am showing under Civil Code 1708.7, this is applying to the state, the public entity, and it is in no way subject to the presentation claim under the Government Code 945.4, because this is where the state is engaged in that which is presenting a credible threat by virtue of police officers, by virtue of absolute strangers in the state of California acting as a group to monitor, surveil, and stalk an American citizen. In every way, this is unprecedented, and in every way, they are providing additional evidence against itself moment by moment. Those are more sirens. And this is why it is a hallmark of the system. They are in relevant position providing light activity as they are in relevant position crossing path going west on Holt. And again, those sirens started where? Right here on the opposite side of this building, which is at Holt. And that is that which is light activity as they are stalking with noise and light. This is designed to monitor while third parties surround. I can go on and on and on. I'm going to stop here though. What we have was the rich example of the stalking with the helicopter over the museum, the stalking by the state by that was fire and ambulance going on traffic cameras as well. West on Holt Boulevard, crossing path with me while I'm sitting out here at the museum where they are targeting this conduct. And this is that which is identical at every other place I go. It's 9:44 p.m. and it gets no more direct in evidence than this. I'm in Ontario, California, and my name is Erica Lorraine Spencer. This is the case against the state of California as I continue to document and expose the many facets of a criminal system designed to monitor an American citizen and the false premises upon which this system relies, and deconstructing each and every last one of them. There is no argument for the state. That is P.O.C. July 27th, 2020. Okay, I have License 1194301. I am noting number 5533. Let's see. License 1476525, number 5558. 1442327, number 5029. License 1501784, number 5564. This is at the Ontario Museum of History and Arts. This is license 1576659, number 1009, at 10:40 a.m. License 8LVH995, 8JGJ419, 5Z08741. License IAMROSE, as in I am Rose. License 8KMT958. License 7LGB662. 9745-7H2, 8FJU063, 8DTP881, 8NWL233, 8CHZ587, 7KMX492, 9F63919, 8EXM395, 5KDS353, 2502173, 2178062, 05609V2, 2442972. That is Hinkles and M. That's the company name I'm noting. 8HOJ409. Hinkles and M Corp, I believe. Yeah, so license 8HOJ409. I've got AMR. That's the psychopath in the ambulance. Using sirens and light activity. License 21053H2. Let's see. I guess I'm noting the ambulance vehicle number, substantially similar to 73917. I am literally scratching this out while I am observing third parties and the state engaging in P.O.C. In movement in their vehicles. So it looks substantially similar to 73917, and that, again, license 21053H2. Noting the time, it's 11:48 a.m. at 12:27 p.m. I am on the Metrolink, which is a third party. It is a train, by the way, facility of interstate commerce while I am systematically monitored. And that is license 1518012, and I am at the Claremont stop, noting this license plate. And that license is parked in the lot in relevant position to 220B, and that is the exact car that I am sitting on the Metrolink. Understand that's called positioning, and that is the LA County Sheriff vehicle. License 6XAP894 at 12:33 p.m. License 7WTV764. At 12:41 p.m. I am at the Baldwin Park station. And let's see, the Metrolink train number 329, where I am seated on car number 220B, as in boy, arrives at Union Station at 1:16 p.m. The helicopter is audibly flying over the Amtrak part of Union Station, exactly where I am at 1:23 p.m. The fake sun is directly present over that venue, and let's see. I'm noting license plate 21153H2, 1576659, vehicle number 1009. see. Looks like I'm noting at 1:38 p.m. License 1524990, 7TSR712, 8EDL380, 7CZU738, 8BUE795, 7HOW822, 1545, 148, substantially similar to that. Because I have more than 7 characters, so it's 1545, 1148 is what I have written down, so it'll be substantially similar to that. And this is license plate 8HSA804, TLS12, 7POY961, 1462917, 1515023. And that is Metro Police that are inside of the Union Station, creating light activity in relevant position, and that is pursuant to the ongoing hallmark, which is police presence. I am noting the name of Officer Mora with the number 81531, engaging in P.O.C, and specifically blocking my ability to board what was the Metrolink train to Lancaster, maintaining literally a policing presence in order to stop my ability to go to any other location other than back to UPLAND, which the Union Station Metrolink engaged in also, as I document on July 22nd, which I captured in images as they literally canceled, or what you will see. They can provide, the state engages in, third parties engage in concerted conduct. Whatever explanation they would provide for, but what I captured in the pictures are the absolute absence of any other train going to any other location other than, I believe, Victorville or basically San Bernardino County. And that was particularly to limit documentation, because at this time I was literally taking the Metrolink back and forth and documenting P.O.C. And those are the videos that I published on YouTube already, as the state engaging in the same pattern of conduct in an entirely different county. Which is that which I have already documented even before July 2020, where I engaged in substantial notation in writing. And so this is my feat to capture the state's pattern of conduct visually, so that it is seen, so that it can be published on the World Wide Web in video. And this was Mora 81531. Ostensibly doing what his job is, and engaging in what is blocking my ability to go to any other location other than to San Bernardino County. There was no officer present to stop my ability to get on that train back to San Bernardino County, but present to block my ability to get onto any other location, and that was more 81531. Not only is that audible activity, it's also the absence of any coincidence. It is the second method by which the Union Station, Los Angeles County, that is the state acting directly and vicariously to block my ability to go to any other location where I would be documenting the pattern of conduct in yet a different location. I'm just speaking to the tactics that the entity is engaged in before this date, which is, I believe this is the 27th that I'm documenting. Yeah, this is the 27th. On the 22nd, as I captured in images, and I specifically captured that, the entirety of that Union Station, all of the trains in the middle of the day, none of them running. That is, yeah, Mora number 81531. Never mind that's my stuff in the background. License 1549630. License 1545682, that's Omnitrans. Ontario Police, vehicle number 1892. All right, and those are notations from July 22nd, 2020.